All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to be making a video today on how to install fivem-appearance. There is some pretty detailed documents on how to do this already, but apparently some people were having issues following along with the documents. I think they're written very good. However, some people may be new to coding. They don't really know exactly what they're doing. So that's kind of what this video is going to be accomplishing today, is just following through the documents and how you can write everything properly. So first step you want to do is to go and actually download the newest version of fivem-appearance. Quickest way to do that is to head over to the GitHub. I'll leave a link in the description for his page here of iLLeniumStudios. But you're going to want to click on the releases portion right here, the v3.12.1. At least it is from when this video was created. You're going to go ahead and click on the source code, and that's going to download into a zip file. You're going to go ahead and open that and basically extract that zip to your desktop. Now I already have it there, so we'll just replace it. Next step that you're going to do is go into your server. So I have a brand new server here. It's very important. You need to have the latest resources in order for this to work properly. So I suggest that if you haven't updated your scripts in a while, you go ahead and do that before trying to install this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm just going to call this scripts. These are going to be all the additional scripts that I go ahead and create for my server. So I'll go ahead and drag that in there. Next step that you want to do is go ahead and rename this. You just want it to be called fivem-appearance. You don't want any dash version number or dash main at the end of it. And a very important step that a lot of people seem to skip is to always read the README. No matter what script you are downloading, just always read the README. It's probably the best way of essentially understanding what you need to do. There's typically instructions in there, so we'll go ahead and open that. It's going to let you know that it's a replacement for QB clothing. So at the end of the video, we're going to be deleting QB clothing and replacing it with this. Gives you his Discord here. It's a very helpful Discord. There's a support channel in there if you guys aren't already a part of that. Just gives you down the features, a preview of it, and then the documentation. So this is really important here. You're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to open that. This is going to take you to his documentation of fivem-appearance. So it's going to give you a good introduction of what exactly it does, what to expect from the script, but most importantly, installation instructions. So you're going to want to go ahead and remove the old clothing resources. So, if you're updating from a previous fivem-appearance or you're updating from QB clothing, which today we're going to be updating from QB clothing. As you can see, I do still have QB clothing inside my files here. So we'll go ahead and follow it. So we're going to delete that from our resources folder. Step 1. Then we're going to download fivem-appearance. We've already taken care of that, and we put it inside of our scripts folder, so you don't need to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and copy it to our servers folder resources. We've already done that. We're going to set our fivem-appearance local English in your server.cfg. Now, what I do is I typically will just copy that. I'll head over to either txadmin or my actual server CFG, and I'll come down to CFG editor, and I'll add that right underneath the QB core local config. So we'll have it just like that. Save our file, and then go back to the docs here. Ensure fivem-appearance right after you ensure QB core. So again, copy that, head over to your server CFG right after QB core, go ahead and paste that and save your file again. Next thing we're going to do is to delete the table player outfits from your database. So what we'll do is go into our database, which I use Heidi SQL. I think that's one of the simplest ways to edit a database. And we're going to go into the correct server, which is this new one I created. And we're going to look for player outfits right here. So just to get rid of that, we're going to right click, press drop, press OK. And I typically like to refresh my database after that. And we should be done with that portion. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of there. All right, we're going to apply the SQL file located here in your database to have the new player outfits table created. So I lied, we're not done with it. Go ahead and open your Heidi SQL back up. All right. And then what we're going to do is go into our fivem-appearance that we downloaded that's in our scripts folder. We're going to go into the SQL, and we're going to do player outfits SQL. That's going to open us back up in here. And if you see up here, we have the player outfits tab. This is going to be the entire SQL that we're going to be downloading today. So what we do to execute this is hit this play button up here. It's going to execute the SQL. We're going to refresh it. We should see that player outfits table back in there again. So we've done the right step there. We're going to come back to our steps and we just need to restart the server. So very easy. Let's go ahead and hit restart server. Let's confirm that. Go ahead and let this all load. Perfect. So this has loaded up and we're going to go on to the next steps. So looks like there's a couple changes that need to happen within multi-character. So we're using the default just because we have a brand new city. So it's QB multi-character. So we're going to follow the instructions for this exact resource. Now, if you were using another QB multi-character, these are other versions on GitHub that you can use. You would follow these steps. I suggest using the default one. It's the easiest one to deal with. But it tells you right here, we're going to replace the QB multi-character server get skin callback on line 171. So what we're going to do, what I like to do is I have a program called VS Code. It's very easy to use and see all your server files. We're going to go into my test server and open up the resources folder. And we're simply going to go to QB multi-character. Now the first thing that we need to change is in the multi-character server main Lua. So that's what we're going to look for in line 171. We're going to go to server main Lua. We're going to go down to about 171. So this is 171 for me, but as we can see, the callback that we're trying to change is QB multi-character server get skin. So we can find that by looking right here, QB multi-character server get skin. So we're going to copy this little button right there, come back here, and we're simply going to highlight that whole function, and we're going to paste the new one over it, just like that. You're going to save your file. So for me, it's file save, Control S, either or. Next thing we're going to do is replace the register NUI callback cdata-ped function. It's a callback on line 118 of the client main Lua of the same script. Go to client main. Easiest way for me to find this is to just look up cdata-ped. Use my search function in here. I can see that this is the entire function that we're going to be replacing. So it's kind of a longer one. See, it ends here and it starts up here. So that's what we're going to be replacing. Go back to the docs. We're going to hit copy. Come here and we're going to replace that just like that. So now we have the new information here. Again, Control S or file save. Just make sure you're always saving your files after you changed it. And that looks like that's all we had to do for the changing of the actual script. So now we're going to go on to migrating from our clothing resources. So if you're coming back from the old QB clothing or the old fivem-appearance versions, the same other guy, from some other guy, you can migrate all the player skins over to the new fivem-appearance format. This is how migration would look, and they give you a video. Basically what it's doing is it's just showing you how you would essentially bring back your outfits from another resource. So we're not using the fivem-appearance, we are now, but it's coming from QB clothing. So this is where we're going to copy our code. And for that, we're going to head into the game. All right, now that we're back in the game, your character is probably going to look different from where it originally was. Now that's because we haven't migrated the skins over. So we're going to go ahead and put in our code here, just /migrate skins, QB clothing, and press that. And if you have a lot of clothing, this might take a little bit. You'll see all of them move on the right-hand corner, like it said here. I only had one skin since this is just a test server, but my character is back to what he looks like now. So now that we finished that, we can come back here. It says wait until all the skins are migrated to the new format. We'll quit the game and then restart the server. So that's what we're going to do next. Go ahead and quit the game. Come back here, restart the server. And as soon as this is finished restarting, we can get back in there and we should be basically done with it. The next steps that you're going to be going through is blacklisting. Now this is basically for making certain permissions in your server. So like, let's say you have custom peds and you would like to lock those custom peds to a certain person. You can do that through these ACE permissions. This video is just for installation. I'm not going to actually go over any of these ACE permissions right now. Maybe that'll be in another video, but you can do the same thing with clothes. So if you have gang clothes, gang, chains, jobs that you don't want people using, like police clothes, things like that, and you only want police to be using them, this is all stuff that you can blacklist it by. So you can do it for jobs, for gangs, or for an ACE. So different ways of doing that. You do have a couple different themes that comes with the built-in fivem-appearance. So it's always going to be, I believe, on default for QB Core. However, you can change the current theme. So it's just up to you if you want to do that or not. That's going to be found within the files of fivem-appearance. Again, we're not going to really cover that. It's not something that I'm going through. But if you are interested in that, just let me know in the comments, and then we'll go ahead and make another video on that. But you're basically about done. This is how you install fivem-appearance. Now, I would suggest that you go through the config file for fivem-appearance and just make sure everything is set to your liking. Again, you're going to have clothing costs, barber costs, tattoo costs, surgeon cost, whether or not you want to use Target, whether or not you want to use the radial menu to open it up, just a multitude of different options. So just make sure to go through every single line here and just make sure it's set to the way that you want it working in your server.